Okay, so I'm going to try to answer a question I got from a guy living in California. I'm sorry, California. And they're pretty restrictive there. The guy, basically the question was, I'm not sure if I got the exact wording right, but I want to have a setup for an SHTF, but I live here in California. It's kind of restrictive, and he wanted to have a tactical setup for an SKS. And that was it, but how would I go about doing this? So, for those of you watching, this is not legal advice because I don't know, I'm not that familiar with the California laws. And I don't know if you're going to watch this video 5 minutes after I upload it or 5 years after I upload it, right? Or longer. You never know. Things change year to year. So, I don't know when you're going to watch this. So, check your state and local laws. You got a lawyer, talk to them. If not, at the very least, if I was in that situation, I would call up gun shops, man, because they have to keep up with the laws, of course. So, you can call them up. They can tell you what you can and can't have, right? Now, first off, let's start off with the SKS. I believe that is a good way to go if you live in a restrictive place. Now, first off, let's say that you live in California. Okay, obviously, you would want to look and see what other preppers in California are doing, and then look into what guys in Canada are doing. There's some similarities there, right? And then, same thing, vice versa. You're a Canadian, you would learn how to prep. Look at some of the guys in California, right? You've got similar circumstances. There's probably stuff that they found online that I'm not familiar with because, well, I live in Texas. So, and here, great state of Texas. I mean, you can pretty much buy what you want, right? You want body armor, you got the money, you've got a clean record, you can buy it. You want a 50 caliber rifle, you got the money, you got a clean record, you can buy it, right? I was in a shop one time buying AR magazines, and this guy was trying to sell me this. It was like a 90 or 100 round magazine, and it was a big old long thing. I mean, longer than you'd imagine. First off, because it's got so many rounds, and second, you need a big old spring in there, so it's pretty long. But restrictive places, it's going to be a bit tougher. Now, I do think the SKS is a good idea. My opinion, this is my opinion, all right? Yours may vary. I don't see the point of buying an AR-15 in California where you have to have it maimed, right? You got to have a bullet button, right? Only 10 rounds, just like this guy here, set up in its original configuration. But a bullet button, right? And I'm not sure what else you have to do to that rifle. You have to buy an expensive rifle just to maim it, to handicap it. I'm not sure what the deal is on AKs, to be honest with you. I don't know if they have some sort of, I'm not sure what you'd set up or how you handicap that rifle, what the California laws would be on that. But the SKS is a good way to go. In my opinion, it's almost as reliable and almost as rugged as the AK. Right? The AK, I think, is the ultimate mud gun. It's not what I would go with in the U.S. primarily, and I've made videos on that. But it is the ultimate mud gun. It'd be the ammo is my issue with why I'm not taking it as a primary. But the 7.62 is a very, very, very popular caliber. Right? It's got about the same punch as the 30-30. It's almost as reliable and rugged as an AK. It's right behind it, in my opinion. Unless you don't let it get, really, really cruddy, you're good to go. You've got a longer barrel. A longer barrel is going to translate into accuracy. Now, there's going to be some guys, it depends on who's shooting. Yes, it does. But you take a new shooter, give him a AK, and then you put him on a SKS. Well, he's going to do better with the SKS because that longer barrel usually translates to accuracy. So it's a good weapon, accurate, reliable, a caliber with some good punch to it. And let's go with something crazy here. Let's say there isn't, total SHTF. Things are really crazy, man. And you got some guy firing at you from, behind some center block wall. Well, with an AK, with an AR-15, you're you're probably not gonna get through that. You'd have to, really crack those up, lots of rounds. It's not gonna go through that. Let's say you had to take out some bad guy on the other side of that wall. Maybe with some penetrators, maybe. I don't know, but I do know that cheap surplus steel case ammo would punch through that center block wall, right? And that's with an AK. Now, you put that longer barrel, which means, more power behind it, it's going through that. So this thing has some power, right? So it's not a home defense weapon, it's a SHTF weapon. Just remember that. that round don't joke around. It's a good caliber for hunting. As a matter of fact, I believe back in the 80s, these things were very popular hunting rifles, right? So you can get them, I think it was like 70, 80 bucks, I heard. And yeah, a lot of people would use it for hunting, right? And it's a very good rifle. You've got the little selector switch up there. So basically you can, straight up would be your bolt action. You charge it for every shot, making it a little bit more accurate. And I have mine on semi-auto, so you pull the trigger, one shot comes out. Right. But anyway, how would I go about configuring this rifle? Let's talk about it from what I know about the California laws. And like I said, you check into it before you spend any money. If I was in Cali, what I would do, I would leave the wooden stock, right? Because let's say laws are passed, things are, you have to use this thing ahead of time, right? For whatever reason, let's just say you did use this for self-defense. I wouldn't recommend it, but let's say you did. If somebody sees a rifle like this, right, especially the idiots in California making the laws, that don't know about guns, making gun laws, if they see a rifle with black polymer and blued steel, it must be a machine gun. What else could it possibly be, right? It has to be a machine gun. So, you want to keep it in its original configuration, wooden stock. It looks better in court if you had to use it. Now, the wood and the polymer, they weigh about the same. You're not, there's not much give or take there. It's about the same. I think it looks cooler like this, but, hey. What else would we do on that? We would want to, I would leave the fixed box magazine. Right, you're not going to, it works out better than a AR with a bullet button. Okay? And we'll get into that in a bit. It's not that bad. We'll take you through this. So, you leave the fixed 10-round box magazine. 10 rounds, usually the limit in most places, restricted places. So, that would be your 10 round. Already fixed to it. These stripper clips you can get pretty cheap online. I'm going to leave a link in the description bar. And these stripper clips, they're a lot lighter than magazines, and you can pack up a lot more. Real cheap. I think this cost me 10 bucks, 12 bucks, something like that, in a shop. And that comes with 20 of them, right? Each one takes 10 rounds, so I can load up 200 rounds just in this box of stripper clips, right? 200 rounds at the ready. I would say 7.62, it's cheap. It's much cheaper than 5.56. So I would buy these, get yourself some surplus ammo, put them on stripper clips, throw them in a box, throw them in an ammo box, and leave it like that. Just forget about it. You can get a chest rig. We'll go over that in a bit. But let's just go with the rifle itself for now. So I would be feeding it with a box magazine, right? What I would do, I installed a Murray's firing pin. Now, slam fires can be an issue if it gets really filthy and dirty. So, because we don't know what's going to happen in SHTF, maybe you can't clean this rifle, right? You don't know. So, I would recommend putting the Murray's firing pin so you don't have a slam fire accidentally going full auto. You don't want that anyway. You'll catch some heat if that happens. Very unlikely, but for $35 upgrade, hey, why not? Just to be safe. You don't know if you're going to be able to clean that rifle in SHTF anyway, so, it helps you now, it helps you later. I'll leave a link to all this stuff in the description bar for those of you who need. I changed out the receiver here, and I put one with a mount, with a scope mount. I would recommend doing that so you can put some sort of red dot or something. Now, the reason I'm saying probably not go with a scope, you can't load stripper clips with that scope. You can get a shorter scope, stop about right there, but unless you get a shell deflector, which I'm going to leave links to that, unless you put a shell deflector, spent shell casings are going to fly up and ding up the scope. Now, you maybe don't care about the cosmetic look of it. I don't, but it may throw your sights off. It's constantly getting dinged, right? I don't know. If it's gonna ding it enough to bend the metal, then maybe. I mean, the recoil is not denting the metal, but you never know. I would do that. So maybe a shorter scope with a shell deflector or a nice little red dot there. Make it lighter, because this guy gets kind of heavy. Of course, a sling, because it is a heavy rifle. You know, cavemen came up with that. It's better to carry something on your back than in your hands all day. So definitely put a sling on that sucker. And what else? Oh yes, the grenade launcher sight, and the bayonet. First off, you don't need a bayonet. You're never going to use that bayonet, right? You're never going to use it, even in an Shtf. Now, you know, you may use a hunting knife, which I would recommend you have, but you're not going to use that bayonet. That's not going to happen. You could put a bipod on there. If you got a small scope, you know, maybe put a bipod, but it's a lower powered scope. You probably wouldn't need it anyway, but you could. Grenade launcher sight. The grenade launcher, it's more of a compensator or a muzzle brake. You need a sleeve, right, to put over that, and like a special shell, similar to like a shotgun, right? The way they do that, and then you put the grenade, which you're never going to get, in the attachment on that grenade launcher, and then you put the extra shell, and you know use the decider to fire it wherever you want, you know. But you can't find you can probably find the shells. I think they sell them as golf ball launchers, rounds or something like that. And the sleeve that you actually need, but you never get the grenade, so it's dead weight. You know, this rifle's long enough as it is, and that's dead weight. Take it off, right? I made a video about how to do that. Check that out. I think it'll help you out. And sorry, I'd recommend the grenade launcher sight. Obviously, you're not going to be launching grenades. You can't, so that's dead weight too, right? The more steel you can take off of this guy that you don't need, the better off. I mean, yeah, I added on a little bit there, but you know, if you're gonna add on, you want to probably take on at least, you know, make it lighter, or at least keep it as similar as possible, because it's a heavy rifle. This sucker's like 10 pounds, all as is, unloaded. But it's a heck of a good rifle. Reliable, rugged, tough. Ammo is cheap. You can take in like a chest rig. I'll leave links. Take a chest rig, like a Chinese chest rig for SKS. You can load up 200 rounds on that chest rig. There's a cool one I saw I was going to buy a while back. It was like a Red Bird, I think. It was a polymer chest rig. Had buttons on it instead of little toggles. And it had little, what is that called? The drainage hole or whatever. I forget what it, yeah, drainage holes in the pouches. And reading the reviews, you could hold up to 400 rounds on just in that pouch. So, if it was me, I would take one of these guys. Again, I'll go over it again. Wooden stock, the fixed box magazine. Change out your receiver, put a red dot. Or a scope with the shell deflector that doesn't go past here because, well, you're going to use stripper clips, right? Because the magazines, you're going to have to maim it somehow. It'd actually be quicker to use stripper clips and bullet buttons and crap like that. So you just load it up on the top, fully load your magazine, you know, put the stripper clip in your pocket, or if you lose it, no big deal, doesn't matter, right? Get rid of the grenade launcher sight, and bayonet. Put yourself a good sling. Take some ammo, put it on stripper clips, throw it in the ammo can, and then I'd have another, like your go box. Maybe get some sort of chest rig and load it up, put it aside. There's also, I'm going to leave links to these pouches. I think it's hard strike hard for stripper clips if you want to fix up a chest rig. Also, the magazine pouches for duckbill mags, and a couple other items. The Murray's firing pin. I'm going to leave all those items in the description bar so you can put something together. Now, because it's kind of tougher for you guys in Cali and in Canada, let's see your setup, man. Make a response to this video. Post it in the comment section. If it gets marked as spam, I will approve it. I want people to see this video and then scroll down and see y'all, just click on y'all setup one at a time and check out what people have. They can come up with ideas, They can mix their ideas up and come up with something better for them, right? Because we all, a lot of us anyway, I'll look at other people, what other people have done, and then I'll kind of modify that. I'll have a general idea of what I want, and then look, see how other people have done it, right? And then tweak it to my own taste. But, somebody out there is going to have their own idea. This is kind of what I want. I've got the general idea of what I want to set up. Now, what can I do or what can I replace? Or, maybe there's something out there better than what I'm thinking about. And make your responses. Everything you need is in the description bar if you haven't done this yet. If you have a setup, leave a response video. If you don't, well, everything's in the description bar. You want to put it together, make a response video. If it shows up as spam, I'll approve it. Anyway, alright, I hope that helps. That's what I would do. It's not legal advice. Again, things have changed. I don't know if you're going to watch this 5 minutes after I upload it, or, years and years later after I upload it. I don't know. But you got a lawyer, talk to them, check your state and local laws. If not, at the very, very least, I'd highly recommend you call up gun shops. They'll be familiar with the laws because, well, they got to keep up with current laws, right? So, that's what I would do. It's my idea, my setup in that situation. So, let's see some responses, guys. People were pretty creative, so you guys can come up with some pretty cool stuff. This is just kind of, I wanted to put a project together, I did it, and here we are. Alright, I'm out.